What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I have a question to ask you guys about Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, and the undisputed possibility of a showdown to see who the best fighter is or the best heavyweight champion is, okay? And I was watching an interview with Frank Warren, and Frank Warren was saying like, oh, yeah, you know, things should go right. Yeah, things should. I'm like, should. You know, I kept hearing should. But what we haven't heard is, when will Tyson Fury sign the contract? We haven't heard that yet, because we already know, okay? And it's a safe bet to know and to understand that everything is done on the side of Oleksandr Usyk. They've signed the contract. They've sent over the paperwork. They just need Tyson Fury to sign. Now, you can't say they don't have a contract, because here's the counterpunch. If Team Fury says that they don't have a contract to sign, well, how the hell were they going to have a contract for Anthony Joshua to sign in December when they don't have one for a fight that they already are in talks to have? Not a fight they just sparked out of the blue like the Joshua situation, but this is a fight that definitely was in talks weeks ago. So, according to Team Usyk, they've signed that paperwork. They've signed that contract. So the question is, why is Frank Warren saying what Tyson Fury should do versus what Tyson Fury is going to do, is definitely doing? I just find that strange. And I do question the fact that, like, okay, well, if he hasn't signed the contract, what's taking him so long? You know, you hear him talking about Saudi Arabia, you hear him talking about England, you hear him talking about fighting Oleksandr Usyk twice, but you do hear him talk about the possibility of fighting Joe Joyce as well. Okay? And this is what I think. Okay, this is what could happen. I think Tyson Fury ain't signed that contract because they're trying to get their ducks in a row over there at BT. Think about it. Daniel Dubois is with BT Sports, Queensberry Promotions. Tyson Fury the same. You know, they're both with the same promotional company, Frank Warren, Queensberry. We do know that Daniel Dubois is mandatory for the WBA, right? So how do we know that Frank Warren ain't just trying to use Oleksandr Usyk as a stepping stone, for one, for him to get older, but for two, to keep all the fights in-house? You know, if he has Daniel Dubois fighting Oleksandr Usyk, you think he would have a problem with having a fight with Tyson Fury and Joe Joyce when it's already an option, when it's already been talked up, when the seeds have already been planted for that fight to possibly happen anyway 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago now? When Joe Joyce stepped up there with Oleksandr Usyk and he said, well, hey, let's get it on. You calling me a bitch too? Let's go. Then Tyson Fury clearly said, oh, if I don't fight Oleksandr Usyk for whatever reason, we'll fight Joe Joyce in Wembley and make a lot of money. You think Frank Warren's gears ain't turning in that direction? Of course they are. So if you hear some shit about Daniel Dubois being mandatory and Frank Warren trying to push for that fight, just like Eddie Hearn was with his fighter Hrgovic, you already know what's going on, because I've just told you, okay? And that leaves Tyson Fury with Joe Joyce. You know, that's a possibility. You know, and if he doesn't fight Joe Joyce, his shit is really going to be up shit's creek, because now, if you fight someone like Aget Kabayel or somebody that's under the radar, that's not a desired fight for anybody to see for any reason, you're gonna be looked at as shit, and then you're gonna wonder why you don't make the money that Anthony Joshua made, because Anthony Joshua was actually taking those risky fights against the guy that you are supposed to fight to see who's the best heavyweight in the division. Okay, and that's Oleksandr Usyk. So I don't really see, you know, I don't really have 100% confidence in Tyson Fury's camp like I have 100% confidence in Oleksandr Usyk's camp, in his team. I think they really mean business. I think they are really about having or making that fight. I think Tyson Fury is playing with the idea of having that fight with Oleksandr Usyk, but I don't think he's 100% committed due to the fact that he has options. Oleksandr Usyk reminds me of a person that doesn't cheat on his wife, whereas Tyson Fury's the type of person that has a wife, but he'll cheat on her because he has options. Or he doesn't want to make that commitment because he has options. And as long as a person has options, really, who says they really have to be committed to one thing? Let's look at Tyson Fury for a minute. The way he flips, the way he flops, the way he switches from green to yellow to red to blue, right? To black to white, to in to out, to up and down. Listen, Tyson Fury, if he doesn't fight Oleksandr Usyk, people, just don't be surprised. If you see a fight for him talking about a tune-up, you know, it's going to look bad for him because he already had a damn tune-up with Derek Chisora, right? So it's going to look bad for him either way because everybody is hipped to see this damn fight. You've talked a bunch of shit to Oleksandr Usyk in this man's face, and then you don't even want to fight this man. So he better fight Joe Joyce. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this question I have concerning Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, Frank Warren, Team Gypsy King. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys can counterpunch. Peace!